Hello, Priti.
Hi.
Long time no see.
Hi.
Thanks for joining the panel today and being in the CYR HQ for the day with a nice flower background.
Beautiful location.
Yes, and thanks for
Thank you.
accepting to make a video with me. The first question I wanted to ask you is, what is the smartest thing you've actually heard in Cannes this year?
So I think my experience in Cannes has been a lot around diverse community, diverse groups, and yesterday I had a good discussion with a nice group of women around Femtorship, and that is the idea of granting access and opening doors for, at this point, females, and that's eventually going to evolve into Femtorship, so for anyone. But I think the concept is pretty easy. It's not, the idea of mentorship is archaic in nature at this point. It's not about hierarchy. It's about a discussion and two-way access, and ensuring that there are doors being opened for you and finding the people that can help you get into those doors. So it can be a female, it can be a male, it can be whoever, but allowing equal access across the board to everyone.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. We've actually hosted a panel only with men here, so it wasn't. To be honest, we didn't really plan that much in advance. So we kind of tried to look at close connections,
Of course.
which is obviously, I think, one of the issues is also on the network side and who you interact most with. Is there anything we could actually do, or would you see a way to help us actually do that? Because it's not like we didn't do it in bad intentions. But I feel you, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
How can we do it next year?
I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily an issue that you need to have a token female or a token person of color. However, when you bring different perspectives, you actually just have a better discussion.
Yeah.
Right? So, I don't know. As founders of businesses, we're in different places. We're exposed to different crowds. And I think being as authentic as we can be to ourselves and having natural conversations, we are going to meet a lot of people. And I think just keeping in the back of your mind a Rolodex of who you're meeting, that's interesting. And I know this is not exactly a great solution, but it then comes down to communication. It comes down to maintaining relationships, and it's not transactional, right? So it comes down to who are authentically the people you want to communicate with, and bringing those people into these discussions, and rising tides lift all boats.
Makes sense. Okay, cool. And second question, what's the buzzword you would like to die?
Bro.
Good one. Good? All right.
I mean, it does feel like probably not a word you're using a lot, but in the groups that I'm around, I think we see a lot of bro clicks. And I think it would be really great, ideally, to have less of that and more of a balanced leadership perspective that is inclusive of male and female, sort of the best of the qualities that come with both of those, both sides.
Okay. And last question, what's the one idea that will change advertising in the next 12 months?
I mean, we can all talk about AI and CTV and retail media networks. I think all of those are really important covered topics. I think the one thing that's going to have to change is actual leadership and the way that leaders are trained and are running organizations, because one of the things we didn't talk about on your panel that I was thinking about is a lot of the issues stem from lack of communication. And communication is a fundamental leadership skill. It is not a tech solution. It is not an infrastructure problem. It is a human problem that we have to shift on our own. And I think it's going to come from leaders actually accepting that there's a problem in the way their organizations are being run, and learning how to be better at what they're doing.
Do you see concrete examples you can think of that?
Yeah, actually, I was having a conversation with somebody inside as to how organizations that are at the crux of change or are experiencing pivotal transition moments are still bringing in people that would have solved this problem 15 years ago. And what we actually need is somebody who's going to solve the problem today, because the workforce you're dealing with is not the same one you had 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So how do you bring in empathic leaders that understand Gen Z, that understand the challenges that the late millennials are having today? Those are the people and those are the skills that we need to bring to the forefront.
I mean, I find the topic very interesting because I keep questioning myself on how to communicate things better. I mean, we in the company, we have a way of communicating that is very direct, very transparent, very open. Everyone knows about pretty much everything.
It's great.
But on the other hand, we also have a distributed team. So people are not necessarily coming to the office. They come whenever they want, whenever they feel like. And it works. But then you also have another generation that is used to communicate face to face and see people. And there's a lot of informal communication that doesn't really happen on tools, Slack and so on. Things I would hear when people are in the office. I will hear about problems that no one would ever write me on Slack. Hey, you know that. But I will just hear it because, you know, it's around me, it's happening. And that information is super valuable because I can see pattern things repeating and then like, hey, let's solve that for good and find solution can scale things not to happen again. And how do you see that in organizations? Because obviously it's a leadership topic.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's like a hybrid way of addressing this topic. You may not be in person, but you have ways to make someone feel connected.
Yeah.
Make sure you're having face-to-face meetings. The cameras are on. People are actually looking you in the eye. You're making yourself available, right? Like, as a leader, I think as your organization grows, you have to continue to be accessible and part of the team to understand and to let people feel welcome to come to you. Yeah. I think part of that is like having very regular, and I know you can't talk to everybody in your company every day, but having very regular conversation face-to-face with cameras on and like letting them know you're available and ready and willing and open to hearing their opinion. It's like a small thing, but I've seen it work.
Yeah, for sure. Better.
And then obviously meeting as often as you can in person.
Yeah. But then Gen Z might not want that so much.
It's an offsite, my friend.
Offsite, yeah, we do that. We did one in Mallorca.
And how many showed up?
Almost everyone. Some people.
Exactly. So everyone, like, I would say one.
Everyone wants to go to Mallorca. Yeah.
It's a reframing. Situation.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And people actually worked much closer, much better together after that. So.
Once you meet someone in person, you form a bond that you don't have outside of that, and that builds trust, and trust builds those relationships, and those relationships then can thrive and excel because they understand and have, you know, spent time in social settings with each other versus a transactional environment where you're expected to give a deliverable.
Yeah. Fair enough. I think what was interesting as well is to see how, I mean, maybe in an office setting, people might come and go. Depending on your personality, if you're also more introvert and so on, you don't really feel like sharing in an office, which you know, you have to also kind of understand the dynamics. And at the offsite, you could see like people talking one-on-one and talking about their personal lives and getting to know each other a lot more, probably in a much better way that they would have in a work environment. So probably doing that in a nice place where you actually have a lot of time to have fun was actually very, very good. Cool.
Awesome.
Hey, thanks a lot for your answers. And I'm pretty sure they will be unique. So well done. Thank you.
I mean,
that's important.
expect nothing less from me.
Great.
Thanks.
Thanks.